Well, here's one that just popped up here at the middle of April 2026. This is VIN 0766. This is a 2016 083, which is ultra white, white with gold flake, with LA30 red interior, for sale in Oceanside, New York, Nassau County, 98,500 miles, listed for $47,500. And it looks like it's a Louisiana, Texas, and now New York State car. Louisiana and Texas until about 2023, and like the last 3 years in New York State. Production statistics: 648 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were ultra white. Of those 648, 361 had LA30 red interior, 15.37% of all of the US 49 production. So this is the most common color combination as far as GSFs go, white with red, and it's like a 1 out of 10 for rarity. For 2016, 372 of the 1,418 cars for the US 49 were ultra white. Of those, 214 had LA30 red interior. So quite a bit of these you're going to see in the GSF world, pretty much as common as they come. 1 of 214 at its rarest. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a 2-owner, 1 accident to the right front in January of 2019. It says minor damage, no airbags deployed. Epic VIN shows this as a 4-owner, no accident car, which is not correct on either front. And AutoCheck shows this as a 2-owner, 1 accident car, same to the right front corner in 2019. So I think this is safe to assume this is a 2-owner, 1 accident car, clean title, Texas, Louisiana car till 2023, and New York State car 2023 to 2026. Previous sales. So this car first went on sale in January of 2016 at Park Place Lexus in Grapevine, Texas, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, $88,000. Still for sale in April of 2016, and it sold on the last day of August of 2016. So like 8+ months for sale, pretty typical of what you saw when these cars were new. Then it popped up for sale in January of 2023, $40,000 with 93,500 miles in Alexandria, Louisiana at Rick's Auto Sales, and it sold in April of 2023, so like 3 months for sale to the current buyer in New York State. So it's been in New York State for the last about 3 years. And now here it is, April of 2026, $7,500 more listed price than it was 3.5 years ago, with 5,000 more miles in New York State, in the for sale groups, in the Lexus groups, Facebook Marketplace, etc. So now into the photos. I would ask for more interior photos. There are none currently listed, but the buyer does state that it comes with replacement carbon fiber trim pieces that are delaminating. So I think it is safe to assume that the carbon fiber trim on the interior is delaminating. However, knowing that, it's being provided with replacement parts, but you'll have to install them yourself. Not a big deal, but that's also good to see. It has a carbon fiber steering wheel that's included in the sale, but it is not installed. And he states that it has valved exhaust and an aftermarket intake. It has recently powder coated bronze OEM wheels, the OEM BBS wheels, new tires, new brakes, and new calipers. Don't know if he means the calipers are refinished or if they're replaced, but the brake calipers on these cars are not overly expensive to replace. They're like $280, $300 a piece. Not crazy expensive for Italian Brembo calipers. He also states that the paint was recently corrected, the oil was changed, the diff and the transmission were serviced. Definitely sounds pretty ready to go to me. The only thing I see on the exterior is the front bumper looks like it doesn't quite match. Ultra white is kind of a slightly difficult paint to match because of the flake that's in it. It has a gold flake, and the metallic flake on these cars, it has what's called a flip or a flop, and it's basically the direction of which the flake lays. So like when you spray it, when you paint it, it has to be the same direction as the factory. Otherwise, as the light hits it, as you can see in the photo, it'll look a little bit different. And I think that's the case here. It did have an accident to the front in 2019, so the bumper was likely repainted, and that's probably what you're seeing there. That's not a deal killer, and the accident was 7 years ago. So as far as the price goes, in this market, he'll probably find a buyer in the $45,000 to $47,000 range, just because the the options, what you have out there on the market right now is so thin. But basically, because it's well sorted, you're not going to have to sink a lot of money into this car, which, you know, a lot of the other ones, the higher mileage examples, when they get down there, they need brakes, they need tires, they need caught up on service, they need the valley plate, everything else. And this car has none of that. It's realistically, right now, I would put it in like the low to mid 40s, somewhere around like 42, 45, something like that. That's kind of the range that you should be looking at this car. I think, in my opinion, at $47,500, it's priced just a little bit too high, but it's not out of the ballpark. The fact that it's already got brakes, tires, carbon fiber trim, it's already pretty well sorted, and that sort of justifies asking a premium price because it doesn't need anything. As far as the service history goes, this car's pretty well serviced at Lexus, Toyota, and independent dealers. The first entry of note is August of 2016. When it was new, the wheels were powder coated black. So it originally had the polished wheels, and then it had black wheels basically since new, and now it has bronze wheels. March of 2017, they said it hit a curb, the right front wheel was repaired, and a new tire. And there are lots of other wheels and tire replacements or repairs on this because it looks like they had wheel and tire coverage, pretty typical of what you saw. You paid for the coverage, you were going to use it. If it even had a slight little scratch, they took it in and had it refinished. However, this car living in Bossier City and northwestern Louisiana, I sort of understand why it had so many wheel and tire repairs, because those roads are absolutely terrible. Those are not too far from where I live. January of 2018, the right front lower control arm bracket was replaced and in alignment. Don't know if that was related to all of the potholes and everything from the wheel repairs. Not sure if that's the front lower control arm bushing or if it's just the bracket that holds it. Not very clear there. April of 2018, the JLB recall was done. That is the high pressure fuel pumps. Good to see that's done. And then they were also noting as noise from the low pressure fuel pump, but they didn't reprogram it here, which they probably should have. They replaced it. And I don't think it was failing, it was just making noise. I don't know also if that implies that the low pressure fuel pump was then reprogrammed, because if you just replace the same part, it's not going to fix the problem. May of 2018, 37,500 miles, damage to the right front, and they note that it needs to be sent to the body shop, and that was before the accident in January of 2019. I don't know what damage was repaired or replaced or anything, but it's just something of note there that this happened before that accident in 2019. July of 2018, 38,000 miles, the dash was squeaking on the right front side, so that would be the passenger side of the dash, and they found poor adhesive to the A-pillar and where the frame actually meets. And so I don't know if it was the welds or something like that, but it was said it was sent to the body shop. And so again, that is before the 2019 accident. So I guess drive it over some rough roads or something and see if you hear a squeak from the passenger side. Don't know what else I can tell you on that. That's something that I don't see very often. A dash rattle, I do see that, but it's usually the glove box or the passenger, the driver's side to the left of the steering wheel, that carbon fiber trim piece. Those are known to rattle on these cars. February of 2019, 43,500 miles, recalibrated the cameras and the headlights due to the front end collision. So that kind of jives. We had a January 2019 collision, and so here it is getting recalibrated. 420, 57,000 miles, the 55,000 mile service, noting that it needs rear brakes, and they quoted them $1,600 at the dealer, and it was not done. A month later, May of 2020, 58,000 miles, the warning lights were on after getting the brakes done at an independent shop. And so now let's bring it to the dealer and fix it. They said that it was a code C1203, and it was because the brake fluid reservoir was overfilled. So hopefully nothing major, anything got damaged as a result of that, but that's just something of note. October of 2020, 61,500 miles, the 60,000 mile service. This is the one where it doesn't say whether or not the spark plugs were changed here or not. If it's the basic service, the spark plugs and the brake fluid are not done. If it's a 60,000 mile in-depth service, they do those plugs, the brake fluid. They look at the axles and things like that. So it's not very specific here as to what was done. April of 2021, 68,000 miles, the check engine light was on. Both rear oxygen sensors were replaced, and then several oil changes. And then we fast forward to May of 2025, which is the last service at Lexus, 97,000 miles. Automatic transmission fluid, So the transmission was serviced, the TVD, the torque vectoring differential was serviced, and it looks like at one time it had an under chassis brace, like a Tom's brace or something like that, and it was damaged from an impact, and it's hitting the exhaust. So I'm assuming it was removed, but it was causing an issue there. So what's not done? The usual things on these cars. The ZLZ, the sticky, deformed, delaminating dash, the coverage is from 10 years from the in-service date. On this car, it has expired. The in-service date was March 31st of 2016, so March 31st of 2026. Here it is mid-April 26, so the free dash replacement is out of coverage there. Front lower control arm bushings, as usual, it affects all these cars. Just look at the insides of the front tires, but if it has brand new tires, you're not going to be able to tell. Just something you're going to have to keep an eye on in the future. And at this age, 10 years old, you're probably going to just look at going ahead and replacing the front lower control arm bushings so you don't have that issue in the future. The low pressure fuel pump recall that just came out here in April of 2026, parts are not yet available, but this car will get a replacement low pressure fuel pump whenever that happens. Just take it to the dealer and they'll replace it for free. The valley plate, that's the big one on this car, hasn't been done. And so if you're going to buy this car, do a pre-purchase inspection and make sure it's not leaking. If it is leaking, then adjust the price accordingly. Or if it's not, just put that money aside to have it done later because it's coming. But subject to the valley plate inspection, it's pretty much ready to go. It's got new brakes, new tires, the transmission service, the TVD serviced. I mean, it sounds like it's pretty much ready to go. Lexus says to replace the coolant at 100,000 miles, so that point is coming up. But if it's got the valley plate leaking or otherwise, it's all gonna get done at the same time anyway. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? I probably would be a buyer closer to like the $45,000 range max. Realistically, like low to mid 40s would be where I would be, as I said before, but it is pretty well sorted, pretty much ready to go. The market's slim pickings right now. There's not a lot on the market. So this car, asking kind of a premium at $47,500, it's not unrealistic. It's not, way out of the ballpark. It's just, start high. You can always go down. You can't go up on price. And so that's where this car is. And I think it would be a great driver quality car, well sorted, get in it and go drive it and enjoy it. Just put some money aside for the valley plate if it hasn't been done. So that's what I've got for you guys. VIN 0766 definitely sounds like it's got a lot of potential. And the seller's info is on Facebook Marketplace. If you set your location to New York State area, Oceanside, New York, and it should pop up and you can contact him that way. I'm not going to leave his contact info in here because this video will be up forever and future buyers don't need to be continuing to contact a previous seller. So that's what I've got for you. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.